Pencil and paper, please. So the question I wrote down here, have you ever said, someday I'll read that book, and it never happens? Have you ever said, someday I'm going to take that awesome vacation, I'm going to go to London and spend a fortune and fly first class there, and that's what I'm going to do, and that never happens? Have you ever said, someday I'm going to work on learning my expired script, finally, and that never happens? And someday, I am actually going to learn the listing presentation that Neil's been bugging me to learn, and that never happens. Does that stuff ever happen to you, yes or no? Yes. Absolutely. So, the next question I wrote down here is, did you ever wonder why some people are successful and really get all the things that they want out of life, and some people are not? Did you ever wonder why that person's making money and you're not? Did you ever wonder what the real secret of success was? So write this down. In my opinion, the secret of success was quoted by Robert Collier when he said, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So write this down. The enemies on the path of success are these two thoughts. The one is, this is the enemy to success. People take the path of least resistance. Write that down. That's enemy number one. The path of least resistance. That's where some people take the easy way no matter what. It's where some people, not you, seek a shortcut. You're looking for the magic pill. And then number two, the enemy of the path of success, is the path of getting it done. That's where people look for the easiest, fastest ways to get things done right now, and with little or no concern to the consequences. They want to get it done fast. They want to get it done now. They want to move on to the next item with no real thought to the consequences. I'm hungry, I need to get something to eat. You stop it in it and you get yourself some fast food. You're not thinking of the long-term consequences. You want to get that thing. You have money in your pocket. It's burning the proverbial hole in your pocket. Rather than put some of that money away for tomorrow, the long-term consequences, we go get that jet ski today. We didn't even pay cash for the jet ski. We financed it on 48 easy payments. Anybody here ever owned a jet ski for 48 easy payments? On about the third or fourth one, it doesn't work anymore, does it? And you still owe 45 payments. And it's in the garage. Guys, we get the phone call from the wife. If you don't get that darn thing out of the corner of my garage, we're going to have words. Well, but I got 44 more payments. The path of getting it done and getting it done fast. Write this down. Think long term. Think long term. Think long term. Dr. Banfield conducted a study at Harvard University for over 50 years focusing on why some people succeed and others don't. Now, Banfield, going into this, had some preconceived notions And he felt that he knew what the answer was going to be before he even started the study. This was actually the very interesting part of the study, what he found on the other end. He felt in the beginning that it was education that attributed to great success. He felt it was where they were brought up, who their parents were, who their mentors were, what schools they went to. That's what he thought. Makes sense for an educator coming from Harvard, right? What he found was, he said, the most important single attribute of people who achieve great success in life was, write this down, their long-term perspective. Their long-term perspective. How they looked at things over time. The amount of time an individual takes in considering when deciding on actions and activities that they do. He found, listen to this, he found successful people are long-term thinkers. They look into the future as far as they can and determine the kind of people they want to become and the goals they have set for themselves. What they want for themselves, the kind of lives they want to lead, the values they want in their life, and the goals they want to achieve. They look out long term. And then they work backwards as to the activities they need to be doing every day, every week, every month, and every year to achieve those. For example, if you come home from work at night and you choose to play with your children or spend time with your spouse, rather than watch TV or read the paper, you have a long-term perspective because you're working on your family. Long-term perspective. You know that investing time in health and happiness of your children and your spouse is valuable and a high priority use of time. He said if you take additional courses in the evening, work on yourself, additional courses in the evening, and upgrade your skills and make yourself more valuable to your employer or to yourself if you're self-employed, you're acting with long-term perspective. Some of you didn't spend time with your families over the last 17 days watching the Olympics. Some of you did. Some of those Olympians, a lot of them, certainly the gymnasts and a lot of the swimmers, talked about in the interview that they saw in the divers Greg Louganis years ago. They saw Nadia years ago when they were little girls. That they saw them in the Olympics and they saw them winning and tumbling and flying through the air. They were sitting at their mom and dad's side watching television. They were inspired by that. That was their dream. Make sure when you have an opportunity like that, where you can see something or bring the children, your children, nieces and nephews, to those things, take the time. Those are long-term perspectives. Those young people have very long-term perspectives. And isn't it interesting that Olympians tend to go on to high achievement? Isn't that interesting? It's 4 years in between games. Hopefully you have a listing appointment every day. They have to wait 4 years before it's showtime. You get to go on a listing appointment today, tomorrow. You get to work with a buyer today, tomorrow. Setting up priorities requires sacrificing present enjoyment for future enjoyment. Sacrifice present enjoyment for future enjoyment. It requires giving up short-term pleasure in the present in order to enjoy a far greater and more substantial future. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those of you who were making money 10, 15 years ago and you put that money away. When '07 came, yeah, we took a hit. Yeah, our income went down a little bit. We didn't starve to death. We didn't lose properties. We didn't have to move because you put some of that money away, and when the market went down, you had the money to make it happen. That market was, then we had a great market. We had not such a great market. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The tide's turning right now as we speak. It's been turning. Take advantage of it. But as you're taking advantage of it, don't squander it. Put some of the money away. As I am standing here today, and the market starts to take off over the next 2, 3, 5, 7, 15 years, whatever it is, the market will turn down again. And the next time the market turns down, you need to be prepared for it. You need to be ready. That's starting to take a long-term perspective. You guys with me on this? Yes. Okay, maybe you missed this one. Hey, I gotta tell you, truth, this is my 5th recession. The first 3 I screwed up. Okay? I spent way more money than I was making while business was good. Credit cards, new cars, big houses, woohoo! So when the recession hit, wasn't making as much money, had trouble making the payments, had trouble doing stuff. Then the market turned around again, made some money. Well, but only enough money to pay off the credit cards. So the market got to the peak, I was just paying off my credit cards thinking, woohoo, I'm going to start saving some money now, right? Wrong. The market went down again. So here we go in that cycle 3 times. 3 times. I said, this is not happening again. In 2000 and, well, I guess it was 1998, 1999, the market started to turn back up. I said, I am not going to do that again. No way. Because I know the market is going to go up, I don't know how long, and then it's going to go down again. And I talked to a lot of you about this. And some of you bought into it, and some of you haven't. And in 2007, the market kind of tanked a little bit. Like a lot, right? Long-term perspective. Economists say that the inability to delay gratification, that is, the natural tendency of individuals to spend everything they earn plus a little bit more, and the mindset of doing what is fun, easy, enjoyable, is the primary cause of economic and personal failure in life. I could not have said that better. On the other hand, disciplining yourself to do what you know is right and important, although difficult, is truly the high road to getting to personal success, personal achievement, having options in life. Having money allows you to have options. That's the key. Get that. Having money allows you to have options. Doesn't mean you have to do X. It means you have the option to do X. There's no way I'm flying on a personal jet, private jet. Yet, I can. I can write the check and I can fly to New York and fly back. I can do that. There's no way. It doesn't logically make any sense to me. But I can do it. You need to have options. And I've told this story many times. This is where I got it. This goes back about 25 years. I needed tires for my Cadillac. And I didn't have any money on the credit card. It's maxed out. There was very little or no money in the checking account. I was tapped out. But I needed tires on the car. It was an unsafe situation. The only tires I could buy were tires that when I went to the tire place where they would give me the financing. Get it? You know, you go in and you go to Goodyear or you go to Union Oil or wherever. As long as they were giving me the financing, I could buy those tires. And it didn't matter what they cost or what the interest rate was. It only mattered that I didn't have any other credit or any other options. I had to buy the tires from that company because that's all I could do. Am I making sense here? That day, I said, this will never happen to me again. I have to have options. If you would have sold me the tire, I think I paid, I don't know, $400 for a set of tires, $450 for a set of tires back then, whatever it was. If you would have given me the tires for $100 installed, I couldn't have bought them. Do you get it? I didn't have it. I didn't have the wherewithal to do it. You have to have a long-term thought process on this. You have to. And that's what money gives you. Money gives you options. I wrote down here, real estate agents do what's fun and easy, rather than what is necessary for long-term examples. Example, real estate agents stay up late. They drink too much. They spend too much now. They save too little now. They have little or no exercise or exercise programs. And worst of all, they wing it on a listing presentation. The worst thing you can do is wing it on a listing presentation. Here in front of you, right now, is an opportunity for $10,000 to $15,000. And that money, in most cases, would change your life. It's life-changing money in some cases. And you wing it. Not you. It's the other agents, right? You don't practice the latest and best answers for objections that they get all the time. Remember that what counts is not the amount of time you put in. It's not the hours in the office that count. It's the results you get from the time you spend. Write that down. Because you spend lots of hours at the office does not mean anything if you're not getting results. Means nothing. It's only in life results. Results. I wrote down here, you'll always be paid for the results that you obtain, not merely the hours that you spend on the job. I wrote down, today matters. The road to success, write this down, is uphill all the way. There is no cruise on the road to success. Constant and never-ending improvement on a daily basis. Accept it. Some days are easier than others, some days are harder than others, some days are more difficult, some days are less difficult. That's life. But the road to success is always slightly uphill. The reason I know this is because most people don't do it. Most people want to go, what way? Downhill. They want to coast. They don't want to put any effort into it. They don't want to pedal the bike. And we talked about this before. When you're pedaling your bike and you get the bike going, in the very beginning, how difficult is it? The very beginning of pedaling your bike, in most cases, especially if there's a slight hill, it's a little bit difficult, right? Say yes. Yes. And yet, as you start to get momentum in the bike, even though there's a slight hill, it's not quite as hard, is it? But then you stop. And you get off the bike, and you go for that 2-week well-deserved vacation, because you worked for 3 weeks before that. But I promised. You also promised to pay the bills and pay for your kids' education. Okay? Guys, we're providers. Provide. We're providers. That's what we do. We provide. Provide. Provide for your families. Take care of them. Put the money on the table. Long term, kids go to college. In fact, in my opinion today, if you don't go to college, it's not even the baseline. Remember, it used to be you had to graduate high school? If you didn't graduate high school, whew, nothing. Now, it's kind of the feeling I get, is you have to graduate college. Now, that's from a guy that never graduated college. I didn't go to one semester. No, I didn't go to 1 hour. Forget about a semester. But I worked my tush off. I went to school in the streets. My school was the streets. My school was through my mentors and my training and the opportunities that I got lucky early on by meeting Mike Ferry, you know? And he would constantly, you know, Neil, there's a lot of potential in you. Let's do something with it. As I say to every one of you, here's the issue with the problem I have, is that I think every one of you are so much more capable in life than where you are or where you think you can go. That's my struggle with you. I wrote down here, the road to success is uphill all the way. Don't measure yourself. John Wooden, one of my favorite guys, amazing individual. Don't measure yourself by what you have accomplished, but by what you should have accomplished with your ability. What you should have accomplished with your ability. Do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it. Resolve today to set clear priorities in every aspect of your life. What you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Take the long term. And always choose the activities that will assure you the greatest health, happiness, and prosperity in the long term. Stop eating as many tacos. I'm working on it too. But if you eat one less taco a week, it's got to help, right? Say yes. Yes. All right. We're all together on this. Goes for burritos too, by the way. So don't think you burrito eaters are exempt. Okay? This is tacos and burritos, a little bit, probably a lot of. I wrote down here, the long term comes soon enough. And every sacrifice that you make today will be rewarded with compound interest in the future, in your great future that lies ahead of you. Each and every one of you. Remember, it's baby steps consistently, not giant steps occasionally. Now let's go out and make this the best week we've ever had. Thank you.